In a joint press conference after their talks, Trump again congratulated Xi on his enhanced political status after last month's Communist Party National Congress. "Your people are also very proud of you," he told the Chinese leader, adding that Xi's elevation opened the opportunity for further improving Sino-US relations. Their talks covered a wide range of issues and point to how ties between the two countries will develop. Here are the 5 key topics the two leaders discussed. 1. Reining in North Korea's nuclear ambitions. The two sides agreed that urgent measures had to be taken to stop North Korea from further provocations. But they appeared divided over what action was needed. Trump said the United States was committed to denuclearization in North Korea. He called on China to work very hard on the issue, including cutting banking ties with its neighbor. "If you work on it hard, the denuclearization will happen. There is no doubt about it," Trump said. "Time is quickly running out. We must act fast, and hopefully China will act faster." While Xi said China was committed to the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula, he also insisted that dialogue was needed to resolve the crisis. 2. Narrowing the trade deficit between China and the U.S. Trump said U.S. trade policies had to be adjusted because the United States was lagging behind other countries. But Trump tried to strike a moderate tone, saying he would not blame China for the trade deficit, which stood at $347 billion last year. Instead, he blamed the previous U.S. administration for the problem. She said it was necessary to have continued in-depth discussions on trade and lessen restrictions on investment. 3. Containing tensions between China and the U.S. The two nations have disagreed over various issues, such as the South China Sea and the U.S. role in Asia. She said the relationship between China and the U.S. was at a new historic starting point, but added that efforts should be taken to properly manage the differences between the two nations. In the joint press conference after the talks, she said he had told Trump that the Pacific Ocean was big enough to accommodate both China and the United States. 4. Stepping up military ties and ensuring security in the region. She said China would soon invite U.S. Defense Secretary James Mattis to visit China, and would arrange for a Chinese military delegation to visit the U.S. Trump and Xi said both sides believed there was a need to make United Nations peacekeeping operations stronger. They also agreed that two nations could work together on counterterrorism operations in the Middle East and Afghanistan. They have discussed cooperation on repatriating fugitives. This is one of the key areas where China wants the U.S. to cooperate, but it has been thwarted by the lack of an extradition treaty. However, the two leaders made no mention of Guo Wengui, a billionaire living in exile in New York who has made a string of sensational allegations about senior Chinese figures. 5. More exchanges between young people. Trump said he hoped the peoples of both nations would build up more personal relationships, particularly the younger generations. He highlighted 4 existing channels for high-level dialogue with China, one of which was person-to-person exchanges. "In the coming months and years, I look forward to building an even stronger relationship between our countries, China and the United States of America, and even closer friendships and relationships between the people of our countries," Trump said.